In this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you manage your money and hit your financial goals. My name's Nick and welcome to Mystery of Money. On this channel, we tackle financial topics and all things that surround money in everyday life. To make sure you don't miss any financial topics, hit that subscribe button down below, and if you get value from this video, hit that like button so we can get to as many people as possible to help them with their financial journeys. Now onto the video. Tip number 1 is kind of corny, but I'm going to say it. Have a goal. Have an idea of what you want to do with your money, whether it be financially independent, whether it buy a bigger house, buy a new car, a boat, whatever. Have an idea and a goal in your mind that when you go to sleep at night and your head hits that pillow, you're constantly thinking about that in the back of your mind. Tell your mind, this is what I want. This is my dream, my goal. Visualize it every night. Sit there, and let's use an example of a car. You want a car that you've always wanted, but you can never afford it. So you're going to find a way to bring that to fruition. So think about you sitting in that car, the smell of the interior, the feel of the leather or the feel of the seats, the steering wheel in your hand, the sound of the engine as you rev it. You know, all of those things, and visualize it as exact and precise in your mind as you could possibly do it. And every day, think about that. Think about the look on your ex's face as you drive past their house and they're looking at you in this nice, fancy new car. You know, use that as fuel for your fire, for your financial independence. Think about that. Tip number 2, be intentional with your money. Make sure that every dollar that you spend is going towards a purpose that you want. Financial independence, paying off debt, bettering yourself. Make sure all those dollars are aligning with your goals and your ambitions. Because if they don't, then you're wasting your money. If you're looking at your bank statement going, where did my money go versus this is where my money went, I told it to go here, this is where it's going, this is how it's improving me, this is getting me into that car, that's what you need to be doing. A popular quote by John Maxwell is budgeting is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And I completely agree with that. And I know there's a lot of financial advisors out there, experts that are saying the exact same thing. Manage your money, tell your money where to go, send it out with friends to have it come back. I used to be in one of the groups that said I had way too much month at the end of the money, another Jim Rohn quote. But anyway, I was in that group. I didn't have enough money for the rest of the month. My buddies wanted to go out to eat, whatever. I didn't have it. I got tired of that. A couple years ago, my wife and I, we followed Dave Ramsey's philosophy, if you will, went through his money makeover, did the budget, did the $1,000, all that. You can Google it. And we got out of debt. We paid off everything but our house, and we were on track to have that paid off early. And then life happened. We had kids. We got addicted to stuff. And we found ourselves back in our old ways. I should say I found myself back in my old ways. My wife has always been very good about it. But that's all changed. A couple weeks ago, we sat down as a family and we said, you know what, this is it. We're getting back to where we were. We want that financial freedom. We want the freedom to be able to say, you know what, I don't like my job. I want to take one that has a pay cut, but it's something I'd rather do. You know, I want my kids to watch and say, hey, mom and dad don't hate their jobs. You know, they don't have to go to work. They want to go to work. And that's always the philosophy I instill in my kids. It's not we have to, it's that we get to where we want to. So tip number 3, roundabout budget. Budget every dollar. Every single cent that comes in has a purpose and a place in which it goes. If it doesn't, reevaluate at the end of the month and slim that thing down and make sure you're always paying yourself first, you're saving first, you're using 401ks, matching, all of those things. That's one thing I disagree with Dave Ramsey on the fact of stopping your retirement investment. Always take the match because that's 5-6% that you're not going to get. So even though you could be paying down debt, I always say to take that match. And then 2, make sure you have that emergency savings. 32% of the population, according to a Gallup poll, have a budget. Many people don't even have $1,000 for an emergency. Make sure you have that $1,000 for an emergency. After that, nail those debts. Make sure you take the lowest one first and pay them off. And it's all psychological. Me being a financial professional, I always say, oh, take your highest interest rate and pay it off. But the problem is if that amount is way higher than your lowest debt, chunking little money at that, you're not going to see any results. So you're going to get depressed, you're going to get sad, you're going to look it overall, and you're going to quit. The goal is take a small debt and just pay that off. And once it's paid off, move on to the next. Because the satisfaction you get from that one small debt being paid off will help to snowball you all the way up through the rest of them. So now, like I said, I'm going to tell you the tips and the tricks that I use personally every day. Mint.com. I've used it as long as I can remember. All my accounts are linked. It does take a degree of trust because all your account numbers and passwords and everything are locked up in the Mint platform. I've never had any issue with any of the security. They're very good with when I go in and have to verify an account, I have to go back and find my username or remember it. They won't just give it to me. But I like the fact that one single app, I bring up my phone, I can see balances, transactions, histories, everything in one platform. I know where my money is going and make sure it's going where I want it to. Sometimes I get kickback from my wife when I'm like, hey, did you go here? I'm not trying to check up on people, but fraud happens and I want to make sure those are legitimate purchases. Secondly, when we got out of debt a few years ago, I used this budget template. I'm going to post it in the link below. Feel free to download it and use it. It's very complicated because I'm a numbers guy. And that's how I work. I have to have everything analytically broken out to track everything. So use it, tweak it as you will. I'm going to do a follow-up video explaining exactly how to use it if I get enough comments here that ask me to. But it's a simple way, at least for me, to keep track of your money. Track every cent, make sure you know where it goes. I hope I was able to give you a few ideas on how to manage your money, or at least some inspiration to get you out of debt, or whatever your financial goals may be. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, help YouTube get this video out to as many people as possible so we can help more people. And two, if you want more financial videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day.